Hello and welcome back. This video is a follow-up to our last one where we talked about the confusion between Taghut and Talmud. Bear in mind that this is a question for linguists to answer, but we are going to do our best to give some pointers as to how the confusion happened, in the hope it can help the professionals in this field to solve the problem more rapidly. Let's go! These are the two words written in Arabic, side by side. Of course, the Arabic in the 7th century did not have diacritical marks, but they don't really make a difference for this argument anyway. Let's note first the ending consonant. Talmud ends with a dal, and Taghut ends with a ta. We know that Muhammad, or rather Mahmud, was spelled differently in the Persian script, as seen on the account by Thomas the Presbyter who writes about the Taye de Mahmud. The ending dal with that word changed to an ending ta. Assuming that ending was common, then those Quranic passages may have been borrowed from Pahlavi script. When we look at the first consonant, in this computer script we notice that there isn't much of a difference between ta and ta plus aleph. A single stroke of the quill may have transformed one into the other. However, I do not think that was the case. The ta in the manuscripts I have checked show a very distinct ta, and it would be very difficult to confuse it. What I reckon happened was different. The preachers who wrote this word down could not rely on the root of the word in order to get it right, because the word Talmud was a foreign word. Therefore, they wrote it down as it sounded. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong initial ta. By the time that the canonization of the Quran was being done, the scribes would have been facing the wrong ending consonant, and the wrong ta at the beginning of the word, convincing them that the word in front of them was not Talmud, and then they had to fill in the gaps. Notice next that the y appears in both words, and in the same position, so there's no need to unpick that one. The final bit to try to understand is the mim. For non-Arabic speakers, the difference between the mim and the gain is minimal. They are not as distinct as an O and an X. They're just two round-like letters, which may have been confused in early manuscripts too. However, I think that the shapes of the consonants may have had an impact, but there was another element which could have compounded the problem. In early Arabic scripts, there seemed to be a level of confusion between different letters. Aleph and Hamza, for example, were often indistinguishable. In fact, Hamza was absent in scripts until it was created later. I think the Aleph in the original script, from the word Talmud, contributed to the confusion of the scribes who canonized the Quran. They had to make sense of an Aleph in a place where it didn't seem to belong, and they ended up creating a new word with the consonants they thought they could distinguish, arriving at a word very different to the one that was meant to be in its place. That's our tuppence anyway. Are you a linguist who can figure out the mystery of this word? If so, please send us your proof. We'd certainly like to know exactly how the words got confused. We hope you've enjoyed this short speculative video. In the next ones we will continue to read the Quran from the point of view of Judeo-Nazareens reading the Quran. Let's see what else we can find out. See you there!